Welcome to Hedgehog's Hungry Hodgepodge. It's the second Saturday of the month, and that means it's Vegetarian Week. Speaking from experience, the holidays can be kind of difficult for vegetarians, especially Thanksgiving when you have to contend with the turkey, and while you could eat side dishes all night, they really don't provide the protein and iron that's necessary for a vegetarian diet. Your safest bet? Bringing something yourself. That way it'll satisfy your needs and everyone else will want to taste too. And by bringing my Autumn Rigatoni Torte, you can be sure that everyone will have a very happy Thanksgiving. Let's get started. We're going to start by cooking our vegetables and our pasta. Alright, so I've brought a large pot of water to a boil, and what I'm going to do with my vegetables is blanch them. We're going to put them in the water and then take them out and immediately put them in an ice bath. And the reason for the ice bath is it helps the vegetables maintain their color while they're cooking throughout the rest of the torte. So I'm going to do some mushrooms first. I've got 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms that I'm going to put in the boiling water for 3 minutes. Once that's done, I'll just fish them out with a mesh scoop and then throw it right into its ice bath. Alright, now that I've cooked the mushrooms, the next thing to go in is 1 chopped leek. And this will boil for 2 minutes before I blanch these. And finally, we're going to add about 2 cups of chopped up broccoli. And we're just going to blanch this for 1 minute. Now that we finished blanching our vegetables, we can use this gorgeous vegetable broth type water to cook our rigatoni. We're going to do a pound of rigatoni in here. And we're going to let that boil for 3 minutes less than the allotted time that's on the box. On here it says 12 to 14 minutes. I would normally do 13 minutes, but since it's 3 minutes less, I'm going to boil these for 10. The reason for this is it's going to be baking in almost a soup for 30 minutes, so it'll finish cooking during that time. Next, we're going to make a sweet and savory butternut squash sauce. Alright, I have a medium-sized skillet over medium heat. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and melt that down. Alright, now that that's melted down, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour. And we're going to stir that into the butter for about 4 minutes. And now we're going to add 1 package of frozen butternut squash puree. I'm going to stir that in and let it cook for about 5 minutes. About halfway through, you're going to want to add about a half a cup of water and stir it in. And keep it stirring. You don't really want it to get to a point where it's boiling. Once it's heated through, you're going to add in about half a cup of shredded Gruyere. It's this great, nutty, sharp Swiss cheese. And it's going to counteract against the sweet butternut squash. It's going to taste fantastic. I'm just going to stir that in until it's melted. I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground sage, a pinch of pepper, and a pinch of salt. And you'll mix that in as well. And finally, we're going to throw it all together. Then you'll add the sauce to the rigatoni and the vegetables, along with a can of drained white kidney beans, and you'll just carefully mix that all together. Alright, so here I have an enormous deep casserole dish, and I'm just going to spoon about 1/3 of the rigatoni into the bottom, and I'm just going to add little dots of ricotta on top of that. You'll be putting into this layer about 1/4 cup of ricotta. Then I'll add a second layer of the rigatoni, another 1/3 of it, and another little layer of ricotta dots. It's a nice little surprise in each bite. Then you top it off with the rest of the rigatoni. And we'll just finish that off by adding another 1/2 cup of shredded Gruyere on top. And we're gonna pop that casserole dish into an oven that I've preheated to 350 degrees, and we're gonna let that bake for 30 minutes. Pair this dish with a Sauvignon Blanc or a Bordeaux, and for my beer lovers, grab yourself an amber ale. All my recipes can be found at www.hedgehogshungryhodgepodge.com. You can leave comments and suggestions there right here on YouTube. I'd love to hear what you think. I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Hedgehog's Hungry Hodgepodge. Bye!